Want to welcome into the studio Stacy Goes from Velvet and Suede Travel. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good. We're just talking about the end of school, and people are making their summer trip plans now, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to it's easy if you don't feel the need to have everything planned, but if you want to have a hotel or those kind of things, they're filling up. Oh, you can always find one, but it might not be what you want, So planning is always a good thing. However, getting out and just going for it is great too. It's good for your spirit just to get out and, see what happens.
It's really funny because I like to think of myself as a planner in many, many things. But when it comes to time off, I have such a weird schedule and things happen at a moment's notice. It's hard for me to plan ahead for like vacations and stuff. And so sometimes just like, you know what? I'm going to take next week off. And so if you're doing a spur of the moment thing, are there still places you can go, things you can do that don't require a lot of planning?
Well, I don't know that a lot is a relative term. So, there's always something somewhere that you can go and do. Even, last minute cruise trips. I have people calling to say, "Hey, are there any rooms open?" And, there are. They might not be the ones you want. They may not be the ones that you really think you can afford, but it's always worth checking.
I'll take one without the hantavirus.
Pay attention to your cruise line. That's for sure. Well, and one of my things is I always kind of bone up on vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc and all that whenever you're flying or really anywhere that's not home. It's just smart. It just is. There's lots of things floating around out there.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, let's talk, obviously this is the centennial of the Mother Road, Route 66. So a lot of people are planning trips. I think I saw something in the paper today or yesterday. There was a couple traveling in a car, a 1926 vehicle, up and down Route 66. And it breaks down every now and then. They have another car following them and something. But a lot of people are planning Route 66 trips this year, right?
Yes, and lots of states are having special things for that, special celebrations, different spots along the road. Oklahoma has some great destinations on Route 66, and it's really cool. So even that is just a short little trip that you can do all the way to Chicago. Yeah. And so, and then all the way out to California. I have a family planning a road trip to Disneyland and several stops close or, not too far off the Route 66. But there are tons of fun things along the way. Dinosaurs out there in I think it's Arizona, Nevada. That's a pretty cool place. The Cliff Dwellings, not too far off. And then, of course, you get to California, and there's tons of things to see.
Oh, yeah.
So, and what's a lot of fun is like maybe knowing your major destinations where you want to get to as you go down the road. But it's the little signs that you see. Hey, pull off here for the world's largest ball of twine. I think that's still out there.
Exactly.
So there are just some really neat things to discover along the lots of museums out in Texas. I can't remember exactly where it is. Great automobile collection right on the road, and not the Cadillacs buried along.
Right.
But
talking about a museum.
It's a neat little stop off. So you just can find some really neat things, and once again, that's one of those discovery trips. You can decide that you're going to get to wherever down the road in so many hours, and then, block it off. And it's wise to know what hotels are down the way, but also at the same time, one of our mottos as we go along on any trip, when something happens unexpected or, negative or positive, we just say, well, it's just part of the adventure.
Well, it is. And, one of the things about a Route 66 road trip, because a lot of people are thinking about doing that this year, and then some of them are like, well, good grief. Do I have to drive the whole Route 66 road, the 2-lane road, the whole time? That's the beauty of the mother road, because you can get on I-40 for a while and then say, okay, there's a Route 66 stop here. Get off on the exit, drive it for a few miles, go to your destination, get back on the interstate. You don't really have to be on the mother road the whole time.
No. And, you can book on down the road pretty good on I-40. That's where you can make up your miles. But but that is the beauty of it. And because it cuts all the way, goes all the way through, it is, you don't have to just stay on 66. You can, give yourself a limit. Okay, anything within 20 miles off the road, let's check it out.
Yeah.
I have been on little road trips like that. Specifically, I know this sounds crazy, but for instance, let's say that you're looking for different automotive or transportation museums. There's tons of them all the way down, or quilt shops. And one of my friends, we go here and there, and we did that one time going out to Missouri, and just was like, okay, anything within 20 miles off the road, we're going to go check it out. And so thematic things, if you have specific things that you're interested in or that you collect, or just your hobbies and interests, a thematic trip is a cool thing to do as well. And that kind of gives you some guidance as to where you want to go.
And that's where you come in, because you can help them plan that.
Do
so
that
whatever
research.
the theme is, you research it out, come up with a map,
Yes.
and best of all, you can find the right accommodations for them too.
I
Because
can find what's out there. I can't always guarantee that the accommodations, because some things, some places, those things are really sparse.
Yeah. Especially when you're out in the outlying areas
Yes.
of Route 66. But that's the other nice thing, not ever being that far from I-40 if you want to get it back on the interstate and find a nicer place. Because I tell you, and we're really bad sometimes about not, when we go, just if we go back to see the relatives in Michigan, we never know how far we're going to drive on a given night, because we're so spur of the moment. And there's sometimes where you stop, you go, oh, why didn't we stop in that town before? Because the hotel choices are not that great here. So it is better to have a plan, isn't it?
It's better to have somewhat of a plan and to kind of know where you're going. We've been caught in not Kansas City. I don't know. We've been in some bad spots where I really, could we not have stopped back there? Or the hotel choices were...
Don't stop in East St. Louis.
That's where it was.
Yes, I was going to say, that's happened to us before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to get killed.
Yes.
Why are we
Same
here?
gas station, 3 times. Seriously?
Yeah.
But, no, not East St. Louis. That's exactly where it was.
Oh man, it's right out of the movie
I
Vacation.
blocked it. I never want to remember that.
I'll tell you a funny story about St. Louis, because my mom always loved to see the sights and stuff when we went somewhere. So we're on a family vacation. I can't even remember where we're going, but we're in St. Louis, and my mom saw this sign that said Riverview Drive. Oh, Richard, let's take that. Let's go down. And it was literally a scene out of the movie Vacation, where you start rolling through it wasn't a Riverview Drive. We were in the bad neighborhood. And we're in Vacation where the guys are stealing the hubcaps off the car while there's stuff. That was what it was. And so we said, Mom, we're never listening to you again for a spare of the moment.
No stop offs that you don't know, especially in East St. Louis. Yeah, that's kind of scary. But that is also why a plan is good. And sometimes you may have to push and drive a little further to get somewhere, or stop early and maybe not make quite as many miles as you want to. Road trip planning is not easy.
It's not scientific, is it?
And it's hard. But the thing is it's part of the adventure, and that's fine. And that's perfectly fine if your personality can go with that. But if you have certain expectations, then you've got to have a little help, and you have to research it out a little bit.
Well, and as we mentioned, that's where Stacy comes in. Stacy Goes Velvet and Suede Travel is our guest this morning on the Wake Up Show. Quick break, back with more right after this.
D&G Trash Hauling, Midwest Music, and 66 Auto and Fuel would like to salute the graduating class of 2026 from Weatherford High School.
Hi, my name is Macy Clark, and I am one of the valedictorians of Weatherford High School. In the fall, I will attend Oklahoma Christian University to play soccer. I plan to pursue a degree in exercise science to become a pediatric occupational therapist. Good luck to my fellow 2026 classmates.
This is Mike Mazie, conservative Republican, certified financial planner, and pro-Trump candidate for governor. Taxes are too high. Reading scores are too low. I have a plan. On taxes, let's abolish the property tax for seniors and veterans. Cut taxes on retirement and tips, and invest in job training to create thousands of better-paying jobs. I'll save taxpayers billions.
Pro-Trump conservative Republican Mike Mazie for governor. Mazie's plan on schools lets teachers remove disruptive students, hires statewide reading coaches, and makes sure tax dollars reach the classroom instead of illegals or bureaucrats.
We'll teach children that Christian values and America are not the enemy. China, radical Islam, and anti-Americanism are.
Pro-Trump conservative Republican Mike Mazie for governor. Read the plan. Go to MikeForOK.com/plan. Authorized and paid for by Mazie for Governor 2026.
Remember Saturday mornings in the car? Mom with the map, kids singing in the back? That feeling is still alive at McDonald's. Fresh coffee for the grown-ups, smiles for everyone, and all your favorites too. Golden French fries, nuggets, Big Macs, quarter pounders, and delicious chicken sandwiches. The Phillips family McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and Elk City makes the moments simple and fun. So bring the crew, stop inside, and cruise through the drive-thru today.
Your Phillips family McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and Elk City.
Congratulations, Case and Profit of Hydro Eakley High School, Talon Payne of Weatherford High School, Haley Payne of Mountain View Gotebo High School, Lillian Roush of Arapahoe Butler High School, Channing Wright of Thomas Fay Custer High School, and Ruby Wright of Weatherford High School. These students earned a $1,000 scholarship through CK Energy's Senior Scholarship Contest. Committed to our youth, that is part of the CK Energy commitment.
CK Energy, we light up your life.
Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro, the best in friendly small-town customer service, hosting everything from fresh hand-cut steaks, fresh ground beef made in-house, along with fresh fruits and vegetables, grown and made in Oklahoma nuts, candies, salsas, pickles, and more. And don't forget to check out the Variety side, full of unique made-in-Oklahoma gift items. And now, treat yourself to the brand-new ice cream and coffee parlor, your new go-to spot for a sweet scoop or a fresh brew. Shop Deer Creek Market and Variety in Hydro.
Briley Baca is an investment advisor representative of and advisory services offered through Royal Fund Management, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Every dollar you save for retirement has a silent partner, and it's your crazy Uncle Sam. He's waiting with his hand out, ready to take a chunk of your IRA, your 401k, and even your Social Security if you're not careful. But here's the truth. You can fight back. With the right strategy, you can keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket and out of Washington's. At Advanced Financial Strategies, we specialize in family wealth management, helping families in western Oklahoma cut down on future tax bills, maximize income, and keep control of their financial future. Don't wait for the IRS to decide how much of your retirement you get to keep. Call me, Briley Baca, a certified financial planner professional here in Clinton, at 323-6800, or visit our website, retirewithbaca.com. Advanced Financial Strategies, your money, your future, your choice.
Welcome back to the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show, brought to you by Priority Home Medical Equipment on Gary Boulevard in Clinton. Joining us in the joining us in the Shepherd Home Health and Hospice Studios, our friend Stacy Ghost from Velvet and Suede Travel. Okay, let's talk about other travel plans this summer. People haven't booked that summer vacation yet. You know, oil and gas really high with the war in Iran. People are worried about prices for airline flights because fuel impacts, obviously, that. Are we seeing, really high rates for airlines, or can you still find deals?
Well, deal is a relative term, I think. The thing is that, yes, the prices are going up. But they're going to be going up anyway, don't they? All the time, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Actually, travel is expected to, keep going. Like for the year, 3.4% growth, something like that. Even with that, people are budgeting differently. And so you would think, a lot of people think, well, it's just too expensive. And if it is, true. But lots of times people are budgeting different to still do what they want to, go where they want to go, do what they want to do. There are, of course, there's consideration and consider where you're going for gas prices, of course. So, they do have high expectations. Expectations for higher prices, and so that is definitely something to consider. But it's not stopping people.
Okay,
that's for sure.
Now, is the rule of thumb still at least 14 days out for flights, or at the minimum, or should you do more than that?
Yeah. Generally, 60 to 90 days is
really
better.
Okay.
Of course, you can still get flights, and in fact, I booked some that I booked the same flight for a different set of people that I had booked a couple months ago, and the prices were very similar. They didn't change, and I checked the price a week ago. And then I actually bought the tickets, and then they were a little bit cheaper. So it just depends. You have the gas prices, and then you still have supply and demand, that you contend with. It's just, I'm sure there is a science and an algorithm, but I sure don't know what it is. But, people are still going and doing, living their lives. You mentioned the virus, the cruise ship.
Yeah, and I never know if it's hantavirus, because I hear hanta, and then I hear a couple of people on the newscast go hantavirus, and I'm like, but it's basically something from rats.
Yes, and a person's got to pay attention to where they go and what they do, and there are some countries that if you've been on a farm or what these different things, they ask you all of that. You do have to pay attention, and it's not they said on this cruise ship, well, that's where those people went to next.
I hadn't heard of that cruise line, right? So it wasn't like one of the big famous ones you hear about, right?
Not here in America. And people are always wanting cruise deals. Well, I'm sure you can find them on some of those, but I wouldn't suggest them. And you have to pay attention to what you're getting into, what cruise line. So yeah, your cruise out of Bogota, Colombia, it could be a real deal, but
now you're smuggling drugs, and we're going to blow you out of the water.
There are so many things to pay attention to, but there's always a place to go, always something to learn, something to see, and the world's such a big, beautiful place. And our state is a great place. Our United States has so many places to see, whether you're interested in history, geology, whatever. There are there's always a place to go and new things to learn.
Well, but it helps to have somebody help you with those plans.
Yes, it
and
does.
So Stacy Ghost at Velvet and Suede Travel. Of course, you have a website that people can check out, right?
Yes, I do. It is velvet-suede.com that you can go and look at several different things. And, you can just Google, Velvet and Suede Travel, and you will find a link to my website there. So anyway, I have lots of people calling and asking about, like I said, road trips. Those are things that they're very interested in. Still, Alaska is huge, and it's beautiful, and lots of people are asking about that. Still, I have a trip to Hawaii,
Nice.
and there are different ways to do Hawaii that aren't as expensive as a big, huge hotel or resort or those kind of things. That's the more interesting way to do things, is to find something off the beaten path. And
That's where Airbnbs come into play in
Absolutely.
Hawaii. I've heard a lot of people
Oh, yeah.
saving big time money on that.
yes, we had a little bungalow and a Jeep, and man, we had a good time. Yeah, that's the way to do it right there.
Well, cool. Well, once again, you have travel plans in the future. Contact Stacy Ghost, Velvet and Suede Travel. Always fascinating to have you in here. Just gets me ready to take a trip.
Go
So,
somewhere. Yes.
all right.
Yes, let's go somewhere.
Thanks, Stacy.
Okay, thank you.
All right, stick around. Local news right around the corner. First, an update from the Radio Oklahoma Network.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ann Roberts. Suspect number 2 has been arrested in connection with the mass shooting at Arcadia Lake. 20-year-old Trinity Brown was arrested on assault with a dangerous weapon and possession of a firearm after juvenile adjudication. The shooting injured 22 and killed 1. Also in custody is 18-year-old Jalen Davis. He faces a murder charge. The State Department of Health will be home to the Oklahoma Insulin Access and Affordability Program signed into law by the governor. State Capitol correspondent Trey Davis has more.
Beginning November 1st, the Health Department will be able to enter into contracts with one or more pharmaceutical manufacturers producing or developing fast-acting biosimilar insulin in the U.S. The law is expected to reduce drug costs and stimulate marketplace competition so Oklahomans won't have to choose between their prescriptions and everyday essentials.
From the Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ann Roberts.
Great Plains Kubota is here to help turn your dream projects into reality. You love your land and you have plans for it. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on our versatile, reliable lineup. Visit us today for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, 0% financing available, or save up to $5,500 on select compact tractors. Sale ends soon. Go to GreatPlainsKubota.com for more information.
Cattle producers, you work to maximize genetics and gain, but are you maximizing the way you market your cattle? Are you selling at an auction with marketing expertise in front of competitive buyers and walking out with a check in hand? That's the power of Livestock Marketing Association member auctions, providing competition, true price discovery, and a commitment to protecting your way of life. Sell smart. Sell at an LMA member auction. Find your local LMA member at lmaweb.com.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show brought to you by Priority Home Medical Equipment. We have John Matthews joining us from the News Center.
Hey, sir, how is Todd Bruder today on this Mental Health Awareness May Day thing?
Oh, is that what this is?
It's kind of a month, yeah, to bring it back up, talk about it.
Well, I kind of took a mental health day yesterday.
That's good.
did the morning show, went out to see my kid play kickball, and he was having kind of a rough day because they were losing.
Yeah.
And got a chance to be checked out early, which I knew nothing about. If they lost early, they could go home.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got suckered into taking he and his buddy
Same.
For the day. So
I
kind of a
pawned my-
last-minute thing.
I pawned mine off to my my sister-in-law. So that kind of worked out. She goes, man, I showed up with one kid, and she took 4 home. I was like, this is awesome.
Well, by the way, Finley's team just blew away my kid's team in the first game. It wasn't even close.
Miss Hell had them going, but then, we got knocked out, too. So that's how it goes sometimes. It's just part of the kickball championships.
That kickball is brutal, man.
It's
I'm
intense.
telling you, you never know, if that ball's going to go up in the air and somebody can catch it easily or if it's going to get right past him. There was this one kid for one of the teams. I know I'd seen him before. I think he plays on one of the baseball teams or something, but he caught like 10 fly balls.
Yes.
Like one after the other.
It's probably
I'm like,
Hayes.
dude.
Hayes Hargis. You got to watch out for him. That's
okay.
you just played him probably at Weatherford Black.
Yeah, probably,
no,
yeah.
He was standing there. He got us out a lot, too. You're like, come on, man. Hey, speaking of schools and sports, we had our physical night last night at the the PAC in Weatherford.
Ooh, turn your head to the left and cough.
Yes, so that's back in the good old days. But now it's more of a questionnaire that you're filling out. And we get in line like a bunch of cattle. Talked to this amazing dad. He was a really nice guy. Him and his daughter the whole time, about 45 minutes in line. At no point did I turn around and say, oh, hey, my name's John, by the way. So I apologize. Don't know who that is. But there was a question on there, and this is probably, mind you, I have a daughter, so this is different probably. It's same questions, but question number 1, Todd, do you worry about your weight?
Do I?
Well, no, this is on my 8th graders physical form.
So they have to say that.
Yeah, mind you, we lie on our fit. We check no boxes all the way up and down.
I was going to say, why do we have to ask kids that question?
Are you trying to, or has anyone recommended that you gain or lose weight?
What?
Are you on a special diet, or do you avoid certain types of food and food groups?
Are they trying to arrest parents for
I don't know.
bulimia or something?
I don't know. And then last is that question is, have you ever had an eating disorder? Of course, mind you, we checked no on all the boxes before we read anything. But we just, except one question said, do you feel safe at home? They tricked me. I had to scratch that out. Yes, we're safe.
Oh, my
Everything's
goodness.
fine. Anyways, I don't know. Do you lie on your physical forms here, or do you...
I'm just not used to having to do stuff like that. I don't know when all this became a thing. I'm sure it was some lawsuit somewhere that somebody said, now we have to add in all this stuff. I was afraid you were going to tell me they started asking, what gender do you feel you are?
Oh, no.
Or something
No, that
like
was still
that.
just male or female.
Okay,
And,
thank God.
We were good there. We were in business.